guys, I'm Rob Richards back here at the Ultimate Sports Challenge in my hometown of Los Angeles, California at Tap Out Los Angeles to meet with Kathy Long, 5-time world champion in Muay Thai. So I'm going to go in, get the pads on and have her take me through a routine and hopefully not take too many knocks to the head. Let's go meet Kathy. Alright Kathy, so I'm here, I'm ready to go. You are a Muay Thai expert. What are we going to get started off?
Well, one of the most important attributes of a fighter is good conditioning. Okay. So I'm going to take you through some warm-ups and then we'll get into some conditioning drills and some pad drills and other things. But right now, let's talk about conditioning.
Okay, I can't wait. Let's head over there.
Right. Okay. The way I normally have fighters warm up, I utilize this entire room for their warm-up. So what I'm going to have you do is you're going to do laterals this way. Notice that your feet do not want to come together. Okay. As soon as your feet come together, it's easy to knock you down. So you want to stay on your toes, keep your feet wide, and lateral this way. Okay. See how you keep your arms loose? Good. There's two ways to go about it. If you're just training, you're going to clinch and have one hand on either side on his neck. Okay. For fighting, you want to bring it up toward your head. Because as strong as you are, okay, I want you to resist me pulling you down.
Okay.
Okay, now, resist. Okay.
Hey, you got the elbows right. Is that part of the...
No, it's just your head's high. Okay. Now resist, don't let me pull your head down.
That's a lot harder to do.
Okay. You need from out here and right in. Okay. You don't need from the floor like this.
Yeah, there's no power there.
No.
You've got to drive that power through.
You really have to whip it in. Just like elbows, you whip it in this way.
Whip it in. And what are we aiming for? If this were John Doe, where are you hitting?
If this were John Doe out in public?
Sure, yeah.
I'd palm grab him, pull his testicles and crush him.
This is John Doe in the ring with you then?
Ah, okay.
Jane Doe, rather.
Then bladder to face. Those are my prime targets.
Okay.
Okay? Anywhere in between there. Okay?
Should we have a go on the back?
Oh. I want you to try to do it out here. You will continually work it in the air because you have nothing resisting you. Okay. And when you get in front of a person you do it, you'll have that same follow through. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm thinking about the Karate Kid Danielson, you've got to punch through to the back of the head.
Yes,
that same thing.
When I kicked you in the leg, I hit you. See this nice exposed tendon right here?
Oh,
this is the prime target to kick somebody in the leg. Not up here where you've got all this strong quadricep muscles here.
In the tendon, disabling them.
The tendon is where you want to keep them from putting weight on the leg. So 2 or 3 well-placed kicks on that tendon, they're done. They can't stand up on that leg anymore.
We're talking serious damage here, aren't we?
Yeah.
This isn't something that in the afternoon they can...
This tendon is the T-band, and it travels from your hip all the way down to your ankle.
So what would happen if, let's say you were to take that out, 2 or 3 hits, good hits? What's going to happen to my leg?
You wouldn't be able to put weight on it.
For how long?
For the rest of that fight, certainly. You're going to have a very hard time keeping weight on it and being able to perform well.
Okay.
Okay. So, my focus, if I'm going to kick you, I'm going to aim at a very specific target. If I hit you in the head, I'm not just going to hit you anywhere in the head. I'm going to aim at a very specific target. Okay? Okay. These 3 areas, these right here, this little triangle right here, those are the prime. Temple, ganglia, or grand nerves, okay? Or hinge of jaw and chin. Those are my prime targets.
Okay, so hence why we protect the face at all times.
Yeah, but you don't just hit them in the head and hope that you can knock them out. If you want to knock them out, you've got to hit very specific targets. Okay? That's where you really have to pinpoint. Yeah, you've got a big old glove on, but you can still pinpoint those targets.
And I guess that's why the elbows and the knees you can have a little bit more accuracy because they're a lot more sharper than some padded gloves. And if you do that swift that you're talking about and the follow through, we can get right in at those points.
Yep, absolutely.
This starts to get very real now. Yeah,
it starts to get very scary. When you know that they're coming at you as hard as they can and you're going at them as hard as you can.
It's not a game, is it?
No.
Alright,
I mean, it is a sport. You still have a referee who will keep things fair. You still have protective gear on, you still have judges, you still have somebody who will say, you can't do that, that's against the rules. You still have rules you have to fight by. So it's a sport in that respect, but
it's a blood sport.
Some call it that.
It can turn out that way.
It can.
Okay, I'm glad we're not at that stage.
So, practicing knees in the air, put your hands here, and you want to envision pulling a knee this way, okay? So when you do it, it's from out here, and I'm going to continue skipping forward. You ever skipped when you were a boy? Still skip. Yes. Breathe out. There you go. That's the idea.
Start to get into the 10. You know, just going through this conditioning, I'm starting to see how somebody could be in the best shape. They could be physically imposing and threatening. 3 minutes in the round, they could be on the corner, and the smallest guy who could know their skill set could go straight in.
Yeah, exactly.
Down.
Exactly. Yeah, honestly, they're both in good physical shape, and all skills being equal, usually the better conditioned fighter wins, only because they have the mentality of saying, I can get my body to do whatever I want it to do, and I know it's not going to tire out. So I'm mentally free to do whatever I want.
So, is that why perhaps when you see some of the fighters in the gym, some of them may not be in the best shape compared to, you know, seeing guys and girls around the gym lifting weights and looking good, but when they go minute after minute, round after round, they're still up there strong.
And they go and they go and they go. And I've got, you know, if you can be around at 12, we've got a class at 12. And it's just a type pad class. But there's a couple of guys in there who are not physically impressive, but they can go and they can go and they can go and they hit hard, and they're brand new. And they already have that mindset to go into it and just give it all they have.
That's like a key attribute for a fighter, right? At least picking out some of the up-and-coming fighters are the ones that conditioning. You said earlier you can never judge a book by its cover. I guess that really isn't more true in this setting.
And in this arena, absolutely. Any kind of fighting sport arena. Cool.
That's a movement that I don't ever do in the gym when I'm lifting. It's a very particular range of motion.
Yeah.
Whether I've got 300, 400, 500 plates on, I might be doing that.
Yes.
And then you come along and say, you gotta skip and bring the hip up. It's a fast-paced, quick movement. Very different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's interesting, actually.
When I went from bantamweight up to featherweight, I powerlifted for 3 months in order to gain the muscle needed. But I also noticed that my flexibility was much better, my speed was better, my strength was better.
From having powerlifted?
From having powerlifted, yeah. Just to gain 4 or 5 pounds to get up to the weight I needed to be and I wanted to be in, because there wasn't enough competition at that weight, so I didn't just lift weights, I powerlifted. And they were nothing but explosive movements, and that really translated well in my fighting.
I like that, I can relate well to that one.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, what's next?
Okay, then I would get some Thai pads and have you work some drills. I'll get you some gloves and hand wraps, and I'll have you hit the Thai pads. I'll teach you how to punch and kick.
Awesome, okay, I look forward to that, let's do it.
Okay.
That was a fast little sequence you did there. Do you have them kind of pre-planned out, like you have a sequence of routines? You know, when you're training, when you go into a fight, you know that if you get this chance, you're going to go bang, 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 or does it just kind of come habitually to you?
It flows out naturally.
Okay, you don't think about it in advance that I'm going to do this, followed by this?
It depends. I might say, oh, I see that they're dropping their right hand, so I might stick out my jab or fake my jab and get them to drop their hand so I can kick them in the head. Yes.
Great, great, okay.
Now, when you're throwing your hook, especially the lead hand hook, think about keeping your weight in the center first and foremost.
Okay.
And then when you're going to turn, the right heel will plant down. Watch. You're going to turn, heel, hook this way. Okay. Cut out the pause in between.
And just 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Not fast, not hard. Just cut out the pause. There you go. Pivot, pivot. Good. Pivot, pivot. Straight, hook. Good. Straight, hook. Straight. Now, try to take away the snap, the hinge. There's no more hinge in the middle.
Okay, so all in.
Just think about having a bent baseball bat.
Bent baseball bat, okay.
Yeah. It's already bent.
So it comes up and kind of rotates and glides
This
in.
arc, right here.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to be that high. Good job. Okay? And when you hit, watch my hips.
Hips, carry on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect. Good game. Seriously.
It feels, I say it right now, when I make contact in my mind, and I know you're a tough lady, in my mind, I'm like, okay, time to back off. It's a mental thing.
No.
You know what I mean? When you're like, carry on, keep going.
You don't want to be comfortable with hitting people, you know? When you allow yourself, because you give each other permission when you go into a fight.
Okay.
You're making that silent agreement. I agree to let you hit me. I agree to you're going to agree to let me hit you. Period. You agree to that. You have to.
Out of all of the challenges we've done on Muscle and Fitness, these movements, even though I may not be that used to them or conditioned, but the movements of the kick, you know, and the roundhouse kick, and these hip things, they're the most like elegant for me. You know, you can do weightlifting, you can do sprinting. I may be good at them, I may not be, but this is something that I'm like, I want to know, I want to learn, because they just seem like I train a certain way, and I want to have a function for that. Ah. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want
the strength and conditioning that I work with my fighters is all for function.
Right.
All of it.
And that's something in the gym. The only function I can have is to be able to do something better.
Right.
But lifting a weight better compared to, let's just say, being able to protect yourself.
Yes.
That's a key. That's a life skill.
It is.
I could be out in the street and who knows what could go down, but if I go, I can protect myself and who I'm with. Exactly. And I had these tool set that you're sharing with me now, and you know, people out there watching. These types of movements, you know, they can save our life. I mean, really, lifting a weight like that, not so much. But being able to kick someone.
Said that. Let's say somebody's trapped under a car or a metal beam, and you can walk up and say, okay, I'm going to lift that beam and get him out.
Okay, that's a good point.
On a rare occasion, that can happen.
Well, I hope neither of those instances would happen.
I'm afraid neither of those happens, yes.
Let's carry on with the kicks, because I'm enjoying this.
Yes. I'm just going to go around. I'm going to make you kick with your left leg. Oh, no.
It looks better for camera if I can kick with my right leg.
All right. No, let's do this. No, let's do this. Left foot forward. You're going to work jab, kick, go. Yeah, but don't step back. Okay? Jab, kick, go. That's it. So we call that to the rib area, to the rib kick, we call it rib kick. Yeah. You kick to the leg area, call leg kick, head area, head kick. Okay. So jab, kick, go. Go. Good. Go. Beautiful. Just like that. Okay. Awesome.
There's some power in so.
Go. That's it. You think hitting with the tip of that elbow? Yep. Right in that rib. Okay.
That comes in.
Yes. Beautiful.
And power with this arm too.
Absolutely.
Putting it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really want to sandwich them hard. Okay.
We're going to break this.
Yeah, we're going to break it way down. Okay, jab. Step in. Step in with the left foot. Now, right elbow. Good. And wrap that hand around. Clinch. Yeah. Knee and knee. Okay.
Finish.
Forward.
Let's do four. One off. Okay.
So, jab. Step in. Elbow. Good. Clinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, the cool thing about once we have them in the clinch, we shove them off and then kick them. Okay?
Okay.
Shove me off and kick them right.
If we can break this down slow, and then we can build it up and get a bit of power behind.
Little by little. Okay. So jab, elbow, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shove me off. Good. You got it. See how nice that is?
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you pull off that combo.
Yeah. Yeah. Jab, step in, elbow. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shove me off. Go. Awesome. Awesome.
One more and then finish off some products.
You got it. Freaking awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to headbutt you.
Awesome, I really enjoyed that. let me ask while we've got the camera on us. It starts to get easier.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, we've been taking breaks and so on, but when you start to put the practice into, like we called it, the kind of the meat and bread of it.
Yeah.
And you start to bring everything together.
Yeah.
This is when fighters want to fight. This is what they want to do.
Yes.
So all of that suddenly makes sense, like the whole Karate Kid, you know, the paint and the wax on, wax off.
Totally.
This is what it comes down to.
It does. You do it in the air and you're going, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then it all comes together when you're doing it on the pads and then on a person even better.
I love this, Kathy. We came in with a challenge, and that was to see if, well, the feature is called Nice Body, but what can you do with it? And we spoke earlier about conditioned fighters who look the part.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily transcend into them being able to go the distance. So with that said, with me and the little bit of work we've gone through, 5 areas of fitness, I want to start asking you to grade me first on power. Out of 10, how do you think I did on power?
10.
Yeah?
Well, you've got power. You just need to learn how to channel it in a way that's going to work for punching and kicking. You've got plenty of power. When you were throwing your jab crosses, and I thought, holy cow, this guy hasn't punched anything ever, and you were punching really, really hard. I mean, I felt it, honestly. Someone who weighs, how much you weigh? 185?
185, yeah.
Okay.
Which is what, light, heavyweight?
Like a heavyweight.
Okay, that's great, great. I love that. Okay, thank you. So that's, well, let's have a look at strength, which I know in the gym would equal being able to lift that weight for a set number of repetitions. How would you describe strength in the ring or in the octagon in this arena?
The strength to, if it's MMA or Muay Thai, the strength to be able to kick somebody with such force that they won't be able to stand on that leg anymore.
Okay.
That's really,
brutal.
you know, if you honest, it is brutal, but it's also the truth.
Right.
You know, not only do you have speed, but you've got the power with that speed.
Those two kind of go hand in
speed
hand.
equals power, and without balance, you have nothing. Truly nothing. You have to have balance. Okay.
Awesome. So what are we getting?
Superior balance on that one. Oh, you're surprising me all the way around. All the way across the board.
What are we scoring out of 10?
I'd say a good 8.5.
8.5. Okay, great. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at endurance, conditioning. You know, this is your realm. So
I'd say maybe a 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
You've got good physique, but when it translates to fighting, it won't last long.
No, I put my hands up and admit that, and that's very different conditioning than it would be, let's say, to do cardio or weights. It's a very different type of conditioning.
Right.
Okay, so 2.5 on that one. I'll take that. That's fair.
Sorry.
The fourth one, I'm going to save the one that you mentioned earlier for last. Let's have a look at, I don't know what you'd call this, skill set or that balance. How would you define a fourth one that we could talk about within this arena?
Well, let's talk about the ability to stay calm under pressure and to adapt.
Yes.
Because adaptability and staying calm under pressure both go hand in hand. Actually, all the attributes do. But the adaptability to be able to shift gears quickly. I taught you something and you picked it up in 2 seconds. So there's no doubt in my mind I would give you a 10 on that. The ability to learn something because you like it is, you know, much higher than 10. Much higher than 10.
So we'll cap it at 10.
All right, 10.
If we can, that's
10 plus.
Awesome. The last one you mentioned earlier is that kind of that will to succeed.
Yeah.
That fighter's determination. I don't know if you want to call it something different, but how would you grade
survive
that?
is what I would call
survive.
it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the most accurate way to answer this. There's no doubt in my mind that you've got the determination and the desire. Those two coupled together equals, 20 on the will to survive. Because if you don't have the desire to do it, then it's obviously not going to work for you. You're doing something that you've suddenly decided, holy cow, I like this is awesome, and I want to do it. So because of that, everything else came very easy for you. And the fact that you pick up things in 2 seconds is pretty damned amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So what are we scoring on that one?
Oh, a 10.
A 10 on that one.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is that's been one of my most enjoyable ones, if not one of the most challenging ones. On that note, let's thank you all for watching. Kathy, you've been an amazing coach. You've inspired me to really do something. I'm going to come along to your classes and commit to it fully. When is your next fight, so that we can both myself and Muscle and Fitness can get behind you and show you the support that you deserve?
Thank you. I'm talking to Bellator, Strikeforce, and Invicta, which is a new organization for women's MMA. And my next fight is going to be in December with Invicta. We just haven't signed the contracts yet, but it's on, my friends.
Fingers crossed.
Yes,
cross the fingers. Okay, well,
it's going to happen.
On that note, we're all behind you. I'm Rob Richards. You've been watching the Muscle and Fitness Ultimate Sports Challenge, and until then, keep your guard up.